The B final of the women's 400. Katie Ledecky has the records. She'll swim in the A final in a moment. Here in the B final, another Katie out of Stanford, Katie Drabot, 19 years old, out of Cedarburg, Wisconsin. And she'll be in lane 4. She's an up-and-comer, Rowdy, and like Ledecky, a freshman at Stanford. Swims the same events as long as Ledecky's there. Katie Drabot isn't even going to be the best on her own team in this, but she's got a bright future as well.
She does. She swam at the World Short Course Championships this past December. Won gold as far as a couple relays go, and I think that again, swimming in that big meet, stepping up and swimming those races on a relay, and certainly swimming for Stanford, who has, it's literally a who's who of great swimmers and Olympic gold medalists, is going to help her, no doubt about it.
Swimming for Greg Meehan's team there. Meehan, of course, the coach for the women's team for the World Championships coming up in July in Budapest. And then we're also angling toward Tokyo, which is a little more than 3 years away. And of course, FINA proposed additional events for the Tokyo Games, adding 50s for each stroke, adding the men's 800, the women's 1500, a couple of mixed relays. How do you feel about that?
Well, first of all, I mean, we'll talk about it more and more as these pro swim series go along. I think it's absolutely ridiculous, and I've said it over and over again, that women are not swimming the 1500, they're still swimming the 800. I'm on the fence about the 50s, Rich. I think they're exciting. I think they can certainly keep an athlete in the sport longer, which I love to see.
But a guy like Matt Grievers.
Yeah.
He might have made that team last year.
That's exactly right. So I like him from that perspective. I don't think it adds that much to swimming. I love the idea of mixed relays. I think they're exciting. A lot of strategy goes into that. I know that there are some that don't like it, but I like it. I like the strategy behind it. I like the fact that men and women are swimming together. You have mixed doubles in tennis, and why not have those relays in swimming?
Yeah, that'd be fun. Drabot had the lead by 3/100ths, 100 meters in, approaching the 150 mark right now. And it's Drabot by a 10th over Hayley McIntosh of New Zealand. Bob Bowman made the point, though, Rowdy, that if you're going to do that, you need to expand the roster size.
Well, not only the roster, but the length of days. It would be definitely hard to start squeezing in mixed relays, 50s, and if you add an 800 and a 1500 to the men and women's program, there's no way you're going to be able to do that in a span of 8 days. I mean, you'd have to come into it and have a 9, 10, maybe an 11, 12-day program, and that's just not going to fly with swim coaches around the world to keep an athlete busy for 10 or 11 days.
Drabot with a half a second lead halfway through the B final of the women's 400 free. This is day 1 of the Arena Pro Swim Series here in Mesa, Arizona. Rich Burke along with Rowdy Gaines. They do it at the World Championships, and of course Ledecky had all that success, winning the golds in the 2, the 4, the 8, and the 1500 in Kazan. I mean, what a show she could put on if they had the 1500 in Tokyo.
I don't think there's any question that, Katie Ledecky would be a huge favorite. But a lot of countries don't even bother swimming the 50s. I mean, they're really secondary in, like, the United States, for example. It's really kind of a throwaway event, and some swimmers don't, and some of the best swimmers don't even swim that event. We don't even have a trials for the 50s for the World Championships in either the men's 800 or the women's 1500.
Approaching the 300-meter mark here, it's Katie Drabot, who's in the lead in lane 4. Drabot swims for the Stanford Cardinal.
3:11.9 going out, that third 100. Her best time, 4:13.2.
Hayley McIntosh of New Zealand was second.
She was 11th. Drabot was 11th at the trials last summer in the 200 freestyle, which is certainly knocking on the door of making a major international team. They take 6 swimmers in the 100 and the 200 freestyle, so she wasn't that far off of making a team, and I can certainly see her stepping up and maybe trying to squeeze her way into that top 6 in the 200 freestyle. Very tough to be able to do it here. I mean, it's almost impossible unless something really crazy happens that she's going to be able to break into a top 2 finish with Ledecky and Leah Smith, the bronze medalist, but certainly things could happen in the 200.
Katie Drabot, the Wisconsin native, one of the top recruits in the nation, and joining the Stanford Cardinal, and it's Drabot in lane 4 who wins it in a time of 4:15.23. That's about 2 seconds slower than her best time in the 400 free. But she has herself a win here in the B final. Hayley McIntosh of New Zealand in second. And Riley Spitzer of the U.S., De Anza Cupertino Aquatics in third. Drabot, McIntosh, Spitzer, and then Adriana Palomino finishing in fourth.